In an industry stuffed with marketing bullshit, empty promises, and shiny-suited liars, one woman's had enough. She knows what it's like to have the wrong clients, no money, and no time for fun. But she also knows how to fix it. And on the Business for Superheroes show, she promises to tell the down and dirty truth about business, sales, and running away with the circus. Here's your host, Vicky Fraser.
Hello and welcome to the Business for Superheroes show. I'm Vicky Fraser. Joe looks very surprised, and this is Joe.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm all right, thank you. I'm all right.
Good. Sorry, I thought I just saw an enormous spider on the wall.
It wouldn't
behind
be
you,
unlikely.
Yeah. So yeah, we are broadcasting from the Dingle again.
Second one from the Dingle.
Second one from the Dingle.
Podcast number 20.
Podcast number 20.
Can you believe it?
No,
Jeez.
I can't actually. That's quite a lot of rambling.
Yeah, when you said, will you, be the other person in my podcast, I was like, yeah, this is going to last.
It's been really good fun.
It's a good excuse to sit down with a glass of wine.
It is. Cheers.
Chin chin.
We've got Prosecco this time. Because we're celebrating.
Courtesy of Andy and Jody. Thank you, guys.
So yeah.
It's nice.
It is nice. It's very nice, actually. It is. Borgo Malino and other Italian stuff.
And other Italian words.
Yeah, so today, so it's Saturday the 23rd of April today. Happy birthday, Shakespeare. And St. George. No, it's not his birthday.
It's not his birthday.
No, but you know. So, yeah, Saturday the 23rd of April, that's when we're recording it.
Mm-hmm. Going to go out sort of 26th or something?
Friday the whatever it is. 29th.
29th.
Yeah. So today we did our first parkrun at Ludlow because we do parkrun, and parkrun is amazing. It's a free timed 5-kilometre run that happens all over the country, all over the world actually. And you turn up and it's all run by volunteers, and there are marshals, and you run the 5-kilometre loop or laps or whatever, and then you're done. And it's just a way to get out and about.
It's nice, sociable.
It is. And we're used to the Leamington Parkrun, which is awesome because there are hundreds of people that go. Like, literally, we're not even...
They get like 500 people or something ridiculous.
Yeah, on a regular basis. And it's kind of... I mean, yes, Leamington and Warwick is quite a, cosmopolitan and middle-class area.
Mm-hmm.
And people are quite keen on fitness. But yeah, it's really cool. And it's got a big hill, one big hill, and the rest of it's fairly flat.
Flat or downhill.
And so we all say, that hill is really difficult. It's not a PB, not a personal best course. And so today... we went to Ludlow because we're equidistant between Ludlow and Hereford. And there's a parkrun in each of them, and we thought we'll go to Ludlow because Ludlow is very pretty.
And it was. It was lovely.
It was through the forest.
But
trails.
I don't know how you can do 2.5 laps of somewhere and for all of it to be uphill.
It's not...
That's just not right.
Clearly it's not all uphill. Joe does understand physics and,
I don't understand. There was far too much uphill.
It was mental, actually. It was really, really tough. It's a beautiful, beautiful course, and it doesn't feel like you're doing laps because it's kind of twisty turny and lovely, but it's very small. I mean, you came 20th out of?
I came 4th in my age group or something ridiculous.
Yeah, which is crazy.
I hate running.
Because Joe's you're not a particularly fast runner, are you? Not compared to the fast people. And we overtook quite. So there was only
compared to people who are faster than me now.
I'm glaring at him right now. So there were only 80 people there, so it was really small compared to what we're used to, but it's beautiful and it's really hard work. And I'm going to be knackered tomorrow.
All of it uphill. Crazy.
Apart from the big downhill bit, which, by the way, I bet is amazing in the winter because there's this massive downhill, it's really steep, and then there's a really sharp hairpin bend at the bottom, isn't there?
Yeah, but like Keystone Cops at the bottom with everyone just piling up there.
Oh man, even in the dry today, I was kind of like, I'm going to fall over, and I kind of went around the corner going... And the marshal was laughing at me.
Back end stepping out and all that.
Yeah, back end sliding out. My gravity assisted bars. Anyway, so after that, we went to the chicken place.
Chickens.
And we have chickens arriving next week, and I am so excited.
It's like a childhood dream.
It totally is a childhood dream. And Joe's mocking me a little bit, but I've always wanted to have chickens. And now we live in the Dingle with 1.5 acres of woodland and orchard, and it's perfect for chickens. So we went.
Big black and white cats just walked past our window.
Oh my goodness, there's an interloper. And neither of the cats are sitting looking out the window, which is probably a good thing. But yes, anyway. So yeah, we went to the chicken place. It's like an outdoor place. They sell pygmy goats as well.
We're not having goats.
Oh, we totally are. And they sell alpacas, which are strange creatures. They just kind of stare at you.
They just glare at you. They look at you like you're a twat.
But they look like mega 80s like pop stars with their haircuts. They're awesome.
Yeah, mad frizzy fringes.
Yeah, mad frizzy fringes. There is. So we're not having alpacas because they're ridiculous, and I think they would just glare at us. But we are having chickens, and so we went there. We had a look round, didn't we?
We kind of went chickens. Let's do this.
We looked at all the different chicken houses because this is a proper kind of, they do proper stuff, and we were looking at all the the houses and whatnot, and we're not completely price insensitive now that we've just bought some money pits. But we don't want cheap stuff. And we did have a look on a couple of internet sites, and there was some really cheap chicken coops, and I was a bit like, because we know we've got a fox in the garden, and we've got badgers, so we don't want anything. We want something strong, basically.
There's always wants to last.
Yeah. So we were looking around, and there were all these really cool ones, and there was like this chicken mansion that you could put kind of 20 chickens in.
It's like the Taj Mahal.
Yeah, we don't want that many chickens. We're starting with 3 next week, and then we'll add another 3 in a month or so. Mm-hmm. But we were talking to the chap, we were having a look around all the different breeds of chickens they've got and all the rest of it. And we went into the shop, and we were like, right, we would like some chickens, please. And she said, okay.
And to be fair to her, she was very good.
She was very good,
Talked us through it, started
knows
writing the list, knows what she's talking about.
But the only thing that she did wrong from a business point of view was she kept trying to downsell us, didn't she?
Yeah.
And it was quite funny because she said, oh, do you want to add feeders? I said, we basically need everything. So, we're your perfect customers. Just add stuff to the list and we'll say yes to it. And she was sort of saying, you can get cider vinegar and you get a litre of it for $4.99. It's really good value because you only need to use a capful. And we're like, yeah, that's cool. And then she's like, do you want a feeder and water thing? And we're like, yes, we need those. And she said, well, you can have the premium ones or the medium ones or the cheap ones. And she said, come and have a look. So we went and had a look. And there really wasn't any question as to what we were going to go for, was there? Because the cheap ones were cheap.
Yeah, like a pop bottle upside down in a tray kind of thing. It's like,
yeah.
It's not.
But the expensive one was kind of like double skin plastic. So it's not gonna freeze in the winter. Was it? Yeah.
But the point is that she could have just at the point where we'd said, just add stuff to the list, she could have just gone wild.
Yeah. And she could have done. And credit to her for not just going crazy wild, but she was actively trying to
save us money.
Trying to save us money, which I don't think that business. I'm not for a second here saying that businesses should go out of their way to take as much money off people as possible. But if people like us walk through the door who have got the money and are willing to spend it,
yeah,
you shouldn't give us all the options, but you shouldn't be trying to steer us towards the cheap stuff.
No.
Because A, we don't want it, and B, it's not that important to us. Because when we're spending, the better part of £500 on stuff, 50 quid extra here and there, it doesn't make that much difference really.
No.
In the grand scheme of things. And we don't, we're beginning chicken keepers. We don't really know much about this.
We'll just take the advice and do what they tell us to.
Yeah, and also I want my chickens to be well cared for and all the rest of it. You don't want
to be buying another feeder in 6 months.
No, because it's a false economy. So there is a lesson there and the reason we're telling you this story basically is because, the price buyer people will be like, what's your cheapest XYZ? And people like us will be like, we just want the good stuff. Not necessarily the most expensive stuff, but the stuff that's going to do the best job. It's about right, isn't it?
Yeah. And that would work if you were a web designer or anything really.
Yeah.
Anything kind of small business. If you clearly got someone in front of you who just wants it done and done for them, crack on. Happy days.
Absolutely. So that story is kind of leading us into talking about Louise, who is writing a book using my Write and Publish Your Book in Just 90 Days course. Which
she's doing all right.
Yeah, she's doing great. She says she's had a bit of a break because she's had stuff on, which is fine. But I know that other people have actually finished writing their book, and I've got one to read at the moment actually. But I'm really impressed with everybody who's done that course because some of them haven't been very communicative, but the people who have been have just done amazingly.
Yeah, I've actually now got a book.
Yeah, which is just which is awesome because I knew that it was possible because I did it myself, and I've put together a really good course, and it walks you through it. But to actually see people get those results is really exciting.
Yeah,
It's
that's
really,
cool.
it's really cool. Anyway, Louise sent me an email the other day, and she had replied to my... Oh, I was talking about Brian from the Kidderminster Harriers Football Club. So in case anyone didn't see this email, Brian from the Kidderminster Harriers Football Club sells the most expensive pies in football. They are £4.50 for 800 grams of potato-topped meaty goodness.
Okay.
And when you think that the cheapest pie is Elgin City's £1 pie, yeah, which just, you just think is kind of, lottery meat, really, I would think. But it's like 350% more expensive. But, let me ask you this question, dear listener. Would you rather munch on a £1 lottery pie or a £4.50 super pie? What would you rather have?
I would rather have the £4.50 super pie.
Yeah. Because it's a big pie as well. And people will... He sells a lot of them. Anyway, so he has a cult following, basically, because these are really damn good pies, and they're probably the best pies in football. Mm-hmm. And they should be at that price. But my email that day was all about premium pricing, obviously. And, you can aim to be the cheapest in your industry, which will bankrupt you and make you miserable. Mm-hmm. Or you can...
do something special.
Yeah, do something special. Aim to be the most expensive. So I'd written this email anyway, and Louise replied to say that she had put her prices up. Well, she and her husband, who run their web design business. And that's the kind of email I love to get.
Yeah. And people just do what you tell them.
People, yeah. No, do what I suggest.
Oh, sorry. Suggest.
Yeah. I don't want people to think I'm being bossy. I mean, you run your business any way you like. It's not up to me. I am just...
Here is some advice.
Showing you stuff that you can do. But Louise said that she finds everything I say incredibly useful, which is very nice of her, because we do talk come out with some shit sometimes. So thank you, Louise. But yeah, she said, the main thing I wanted to tell you is that we did put our prices up, and as you predicted, it's been fine. We had already discussed doing it and had put prices up before I read your book, but your book and emails concreted it for us, and we stuck to our decision. So we put our hourly rate up from 35 to 39. I don't think anyone has noticed. They wouldn't, and that's too low.
Of course it is.
We put our low-cost website package up from a starting price of $650 to $850. Had a few twitches from people, but it didn't put them off. Mm-hmm. Again, that's a very low price for a website.
Yeah.
And she knows this because I told her. And finally, we put our custom-built websites up from a starting price of $1,100 right up to $2,700, which is a massive increase. That's
big percentage.
50% more. Again, 100% more again.
Yeah,
my math is rubbish. I've had wine.
Had a beer, had some wine.
So basically they've way more than doubled the price. And she said, we did have a bit of a gap with these people. They weren't biting for a while, and it did worry us, but we stuck to our guns, and we have now completed 2 sites at this price with 1 more in the pipeline. So basically they have more than doubled their profits.
Oh, I mean, even just on that hourly rate, I was just thinking about it, if they're billing their hours out at £35 an hour, and their fixed cost is going to be, I don't know, let's call it £30 an hour, because they're paying rent, they're paying heating bills, they've got their computers to keep up to date, they've got all that stuff to do, which gives them £5 an hour profit. If they put their price up to £39, they've just doubled their profit, more or less.
Which is amazing. And
it's only a couple of quid for the customer, but you've doubled your profit.
This is why you need to put your prices up, even if it's just by 10%, because the amount of extra profit that you get, that's all profit.
Yeah, as long as your costs don't go up in line with your increase. But
it's just the simplest thing that you can do right now to increase your profits is just put your prices up. Because like Louise said, people won't even notice. They won't. The ones that do aren't worth bothering about, because...
The ones that do are cheap, nasty price buyers.
Yeah. And if you lose a couple of customers, and you might lose a couple of customers, your increase in fees, in profits, will more than cover them. And you won't have to deal with, asshats and low-class jackasses.
Cheap weasels.
Yeah, cheap weasels, yeah. So she says, like you say, those that don't want to pay us can jog on. My whole angle is that if they will pay more, they will sell more. If they're not interested in increasing their sales and making more money, then I've decided they're not for us. And that is entirely the right attitude to have. But then it gets even better, you see. Because I replied to Louise just to say, brilliant, well done, because I reply to, by the way, I reply to every email I receive, and I get a lot of emails. Even if it's only a couple of lines, I reply to everyone. And I know that a lot of people don't do that, kind of your internet marketing gurus. And some of them get so many emails, I guess, that they couldn't possibly, but I just think it's polite. I like to do that. And I like to hear what people are doing.
Yeah.
So anyway, she replied to that email to say, thanks, it's really beginning to pay off. Because yes, it is, because this stuff works. It really does work. And she said, I did think that you would think our prices were still too low, and we're working on it, building up reputation, getting results, blah, blah, blah. And that's cool. And then she's asked the question, which I think is a very good question. Do you think prices are regional? Is that still a thing in your experience? We currently live in a place in South Wales, and they've only been there 4 years, but it seems to be taking a while for people to adjust their thinking and be more realistic about how much these things cost. And she started rebranding as online business development because it's more accurate and blah, blah, blah. And yes, they do develop business. They're not just web designers. So answering your question, yes, I think that prices are still regional because you will pay more for things in London and the big cities than you do elsewhere. But having said that, I don't think that should, because wherever you are, there are always going to be price buyers, and there are always going to be people who are willing to pay top whack.
But do you think it depends whether your customers are regional?
Yes.
If your customers are from all over the world and not regional and not located near you, then it shouldn't matter.
Yeah, actually, that's a really good point, and one that I was going to come to. No, it's a good point. And so I would say, if you run a physical shop, then a proportion of your customers are going to be
locally walk in the door.
Local. Or if you run a carpet cleaning company or a window cleaning company, then you are obviously going to be restricted by region, and that's fine. But even then, you're still going to have people who are willing to pay top whack. There are always going to be the premium buyers. Yeah. But for Louise and her husband, who run an online web development business, you're not restricted. Yes, you might want some local clients, and that's fine, but you could get your clients from anywhere in the world.
So it might be worth focusing on systemizing and finding ways to work with people that you don't physically meet.
Yeah. And besides that, if you get your avatar sorted, you will automatically be targeting the kind of people with money. And people with money and people with money who are willing and able and happy to spend it are everywhere. There might be fewer of them in your area in South Wales, and I suspect there probably are fewer of them, but they are there. So it's just a case of finding them and then going a little bit wider. So in answer to your question, yes, I think prices are regional still for certain things, not for everything. And yes, it will depend on, but you can help those businesses, the businesses that you're doing websites for, they can help them to make more money themselves, which will help them to spend more money with them.
And raises the area.
Raises the area as well.
That's good.
So in answer to your question, yes and no. Yes, they are still regional, but no, it shouldn't really make a difference to you.
Yeah.
If you're targeting the right people. So I hope that helps. And she also, the other thing that I wanted to talk about, she also said that, because I've been reading a lot about the 4-hour work week at the moment, I'm a bit obsessed with it. And I really like the idea of not waiting until I'm bloody 65 to retire, because I want to be able to do what I do now. And Tim Ferriss talks a lot about the new rich, and the new rich aren't people with billions in their bank accounts necessarily. They're people who do what they want when they want. And their business finances the lifestyle that they want. So, yeah, they might not have an awful lot of money in the bank. I guess it's kind of like us, because I think you could call us the new rich, because, yes, you've still got a job.
Yes.
But it works for you because you enjoy it and all the rest of it. But I run my business now. I still work more than I would like to, eventually. But I don't work on Wednesdays, and, I choose what I do and all the rest of it. It's all about designing the lifestyle you want, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
And now we've moved into this house.
Yeah, your business should work for you, not you for your business. It should be just funding and supplying the lifestyle that you choose.
Yeah.
And if you choose to work 18 hours a day and not get any sleep and worry about the bills and work 7 days a week, then I'd suggest you've possibly made the wrong choice.
Yeah.
But
just got a shit job.
Yeah, if you choose to not work Wednesdays or not work Fridays or Just have whatever lifestyle you wish. Chickens.
Yeah, chickens. But yeah, Louise says, since we raised our prices and have begun to streamline our workload, we haven't really worked a Friday.
Awesome.
Which is, it is awesome. Because, she says we tried to finish up our workload in the morning, have a meeting, and then just stop working. The first few times it's scary because you go through all the things that might happen if you stop working, like the world might stop spinning. Of course it doesn't. And you can breathe a sigh of relief because on Monday, the office, the computer, and your clients are exactly where you left them.
Yeah.
And so she emailed me from the pub.
Like 2 o'clock on a Friday.
2 o'clock on a Friday.
Nice.
Which is perfect because, you could choose to take on more clients at your higher prices and bring in more cash, which is fine.
Yeah, that's a choice.
Or you could choose to do what Louise and her husband have done and take Fridays off, which is just brilliant. Because it's not all about the money. And that, I think, is something that gets lost in a lot of the internet marketing guru-isms that, there's, especially the Americans tend to be quite, I'm probably being a bit unfair here, actually. But it seems, from what I've seen, it seems to be that, I don't know.
Yeah, it is about the money. You just chase the money. Just chase more money.
Chase the money,
bigger numbers.
And
bigger numbers. More money.
And you hear people going on about hustling and crushing it, and that just makes me want to just vom because they're just stop it. You sound like a dick. But hustling and crushing it and all the rest of it. It's like, well, how about deciding what kind of a lifestyle you want? And that might not require hustling and crushing it.
Yeah. Might require doing a couple of days' work and then reclining.
Yeah.
In your hammock on the beach.
Yeah. Oh, it's like that story. Have you heard the story of the Mexican fisherman, Joe?
Yes, I have. I have heard the story of the Mexican fisherman.
Have you?
I have.
Do you think our listeners have? Shall we tell it quickly?
Go for it.
Okay, do you want to tell it?
Oof, I'm pretty vague. You should probably pour yourself another glass of Prosecco.
Okay.
Okay, so the premise is that you've got a chap with his little family living somewhere near the sea, somewhere that sounds a bit tropical.
Mexico.
Mexican fisherman, right. And he goes out each day with his boat and he finds a fish. He goes out at like 7 o'clock. Yeah, goes out at 7 o'clock in the morning and he's back by 9 o'clock with a fish.
Big fish.
Big fish.
Tuna's massive.
Yeah, catches his tuna, comes back with a big fish and sells it at the market and has enough money to spend time with his kid and eat and live and have a simple, pleasant existence.
And go to the bar in the evening and play the guitar with his friends.
Okay.
That's what he does.
That's an embellishment.
No, that's what he does.
Okay. So, goes to the bar, plays guitar. Yeah. Has a nice time. Life is
Gets up next day, does the same thing.
And then a business guru turns up, wandering along the beach on his summer holiday, and says, "You're very good at this fishing business. You catch a fish in about an hour. It takes you half an hour to get out. It takes you half an hour to get back. Why don't you stay out for 6 more hours, get 6 more fish, put some money in the bank,
cut out the middleman,
open a little market
sell it
store,
direct,
sell it direct to the customers. You'll make twice as much money,
and then you could open a fleet.
Yeah, then you could hire somebody to do the fishing for you,
and then can it all.
Yeah, start a factory.
Yeah,
you could do all of this. You could make millions, and then
the dude says, "Well, how long will this take?" And the dude says, 20 years.
Yeah, 15, 20 years of hard graft, and you're sorted.
Yeah, and he's like, that sounds great. The fisherman says, that sounds great. And what do I do then? And the guru says, well, then you just chill out on the beach and you spend time with your family and you go to the bar in the evening and play the guitar
with your mates.
And it's like, oh, hang on a minute. That's what I'm doing already.
Yeah.
And I really like that little parable. Because it's a little bit cheesy. I don't know if it's probably not true at all.
It's not true.
Of course it's not true. But it does illustrate very nicely the wrong-headed focus that a lot of people have, I think, on gathering wealth.
Acquisitive.
Acquiring money rather than gathering the kind of wealth that is meaningful to them. Because wealth doesn't mean cash in the bank. And once you let go of it, I was quite surprised, actually, because when we were buying this house, and we'd saved up obviously a lot of money. Or it's a lot of money to us. It's probably not a lot of money to some people, but it was big bloody pile of cash.
And it was
and we were
the result of a couple of years of having a damn
bloody
good
hard
save.
graft. Yeah, and I kind of looked at it, and well, obviously not the actual money because you don't do it in real cash anymore, which is disappointing because I kind of wanted to take out a big pile of cash and then give it to somebody. But yeah, I was kind of looking at the balance and the numbers and thinking, oh, look at all that money we've earned that. And I wondered how I would feel when we gave it all to the solicitor.
Yeah, to give to the bank and give to the fees and all the rest of it.
And I didn't feel anything.
Yeah, it just went away, didn't it?
Yeah. And I was really relieved because I didn't want to be the kind of person who was attached to money. And I think I was before when I didn't have much
When you
of
didn't
it.
have enough.
Well, and I think that's the thing. I think the problem is when you don't have enough of it, it does matter to you. And people don't understand that. But I was just really pleased that we kind of gave away this massive lump, well, to me, a massive lump of money. To us, a massive lump of money. I've just felt nothing except pride in the fact that we've just achieved one of our goals, one of our life goals.
Buying this ridiculous ramshackle cottage.
Money pit. But I think that's, once you can get to the point where you can let money go, as in let the emotional attachment to it go.
You do have to, I think there's a basic lifestyle point you have to pass. I think you have to be able to pay the bills, fix your car, live pleasantly, eat the food you like, and see your friends, and do, go and visit your family.
Yeah.
I think once you've reached a certain point and you can actually do all that stuff and your life feels all right, I think anything more than that is just
gravy.
Yeah, it's just stuff for improving your lifestyle.
Yeah. And I'm also very aware that we're talking from a very privileged white middle class background and all the rest of it. But we've by no means had it. I mean, we've had it easy compared to a lot of people, but we've by no means, my parents were working class, your parents are working class.
Yeah.
And, we've had all the benefits of a privileged, white middle class education and all the rest of it. But anyone can do this.
Yeah.
And people have done it from much worse backgrounds. And it's all about having your priorities and your focus in the right place, I think. And if you focus on the money, that's not the way to do it.
No.
You need to focus on...
You either focus on your lifestyle or you focus on your mission. And the mission, it could be a charity, it could be helping people, it could be medical, it could be all kinds of things.
And it doesn't matter either if it's selfish. Some people are, some people are focused on charities and that's great. And some people are like, you know what, I want to be able to fund the kind of laptop lifestyle that is working from different beaches. And that's fine as well. There's no judgment here. I don't think people are any better or worse for what they decide to do with their hard-earned cash. I think it's entirely a personal choice. But I do think that you need to, just decide what you want.
Goals.
Decide what you want, yeah.
Yeah.
What kind of a lifestyle do you want to lead?
Hopefully it's not one that just has you rolling around in cellars full of gold coins.
I don't know, that's a valid lifestyle choice. If that's what you choose. That's cool. Anyway, we've rambled on for
27 minutes and 12 seconds.
Yeah, so...
We should stop now.
We should stop now. But I hope this has been useful because, again, it's pricing, and I think it's worth talking about again and again because I think it's the thing that people struggle with the most.
Yeah, notch your price up a little bit and your profits will increase enormously.
Yeah. And Louise has just found this.
Louise has just done it. Well done, Louise.
Yeah, Amber Crouch, their company is called, I believe. Amber Crouch. So.
And try and decide what it is that you actually want out of this business.
Yeah.
Don't work yourself to death doing something that is not giving you what you need.
Yeah, definitely.
Push towards something you actually want.
Yeah. Whatever that is.
Whatever that might be. Gold coins in the basement, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking of that. What was that cartoon? Was it?
Oh, the
rich
Scrooge McDuck.
Scrooge McDuck, yeah, swimming through his gold coins.
Yes.
Anyway.
I'd forgot about Scrooge McDuck. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll leave you with that. Have a splendid weekend, because by the time you listen to this, it'll be next Friday again.
Yeah. Have a great weekend, folks.
Great weekend. Let's hope that we haven't lost any more genius musicians.
That sucks.
Yeah, it really does suck. Prince was just awesome. And a really good example, by the way, of... Well, we'll talk about this another time. We'll talk about Prince another time, because actually he's a great business example. Really, really is. Of being yourself.
Worked bloody hard and did it anyway.
Yeah, just screw what everyone else thinks. Anyway, awesome. Have a splendid weekend. We're going to pull out our first Rayburn meal shortly.
Let's hope it doesn't taste like paraffin.
Oil, yeah. And if you haven't bought my book yet, businessforsuperheroes.com. If you would like to join my inner circle, which is apparently marvellous.
Amazing.
You should go to businessforsuperheroes.com/inner-circle.
Sounds about right.
There's a question mark at the end of that sentence.
You'll find it. Google.
So, peace out.
Enjoy.
Like what you've just heard? Tell your colleagues, tell your friends, send them to www.businessforsuperheroes.com/podcast.